Everyone knows Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam as the Missile Man of India. We remember him as the 11th president, a visionary who ignited the minds of millions of young students. His journey from a small town in Ramaswaram to the grand halls of Rashtrapati Bhavan is a story told in every school. We celebrate his contributions to science, his leadership in our space and defense programs, his powerful speeches that echoed with hope and ambition. These are the great achievements that define his public legacy. But behind this towering figure was a man whose greatest lessons were often taught in the quiet moments far from the glare of cameras and the applause of crowds. These untold stories are where the true essence of Dr. Kalam resides. They are not about launching satellites or designing missiles. Instead, they are about small acts of kindness, profound humility, a relentless dedication to helping others in simple, direct ways. These are the secrets that are not found in textbooks. They reveal a man who never forgot his roots, who treated every single person with dignity, and who faced his own challenges with quiet strength. Understanding this side of him makes his public achievements even more meaningful. It shows us that true greatness is built not just on grand accomplishments, but on a foundation of deep personal character. The stories I had the privilege to witness firsthand paint a picture of a soul dedicated to giving. He was a teacher in every sense of the word. His classroom was life itself. He taught not just with words, but with his actions. He showed us that a leader's true power lies in their ability to connect with the heart of every individual. Dr. Kalam's kindness was a quiet, constant force. It did not seek recognition. I remember one particular incident very clearly. At an event, a security guard stood for hours exhausted. Dr. Kalam noticed him immediately. He stopped, walked over, and asked if he had eaten. The guard was stunned. Dr. Kalam arranged a chair and a plate of food. He waited until the guard was seated and eating. A private human moment of pure empathy. Another lesser-known story, his salary and savings. After becoming president, he learned the predecessor's family was cared for by the state. He called me and asked what to do with his salary. He donated his entire presidential salary and savings to Pura. He believed his life and wealth were for the nation. He lived on his scientist's pension, never taking a rupee of presidential pay. A silent, private act of giving. His compassion reached the smallest creatures. A peacock at his Delhi residence injured its leg. Staff worried. He took a personal interest. He consulted vets and ensured the best care. He checked on the bird every single day. For him, every life was precious. Kindness to one was kindness to all. Even in his final moments, he thought of others. His last words to me before collapsing at EM Shillong were, "Funny guy, are you doing well?" Humility was not an attribute Dr. Kalam wore. It was woven into the very fabric of his existence. Despite holding the highest office, he remained astonishingly simple. At a convocation, he saw his chair was larger and more ornate than the others. He politely refused to sit on it. He asked the organizers to find a chair that was the same as everyone else's. He said, "In this gathering of knowledge, we are all equals." This small act spoke volumes about his character. He never saw himself as above anyone else. At Rashtrapati Bhavan, he lived in a small two-room suite. One room for sleeping, the other as his study filled to the brim with books and papers. His books, his veena, a few sets of clothes, his CDs of classical music. When he passed away, these were the only things left behind. A president who lived like a monk, finding richness not in possessions, but in knowledge, music, and young minds. Once, a junior scientist at DRDO made a costly mistake and was terrified. He expected to be fired. Instead, Dr. Kalam called him into his office and did not scold him. He calmly said, "You have failed, and I have failed, because I am your leader. Let us learn from this failure together and make sure we succeed next time." He took the blame upon himself, shielding his team member. He turned a moment of failure into a powerful lesson in leadership and shared responsibility. Behind Dr. Kalam's ever-present smile was a man who faced struggles and disappointments, though he rarely spoke of them. His journey was not an easy one. One of the biggest early challenges, his dream of joining the Indian Air Force. He worked incredibly hard and traveled to Dehradun for the interview. He was so close. There were 9 positions available, and he was ranked 10th. The rejection was devastating for him. He was heartbroken and directionless, wandering to Rishikesh in his despair. It was a turning point that could have broken a lesser man. It was during this period that he met Swami Sivananda. He shared his sorrow and his shattered dream with the sage. Swami Sivananda's words gave him a new perspective. He told him to accept his destiny and find his purpose elsewhere. He explained this rejection was not a failure, but a redirection. The true legacy of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam is not just in the rockets that soar into the sky or the presidential decrees he signed. It is found in the small, quiet, and untold stories of his life. These stories matter because they reveal the foundation upon which his greatness was built, a foundation of profound humility, unwavering kindness, relentless integrity. They teach us that who we are when no one is watching is our true character. Dr. Kalam was the same man in private as he was in public, a simple, compassionate soul dedicated to serving others. This consistency is perhaps the most powerful lesson of all. From his life, we can learn the importance of small acts of kindness. Asking a tired guard if they have eaten, taking the time to care for an injured bird, responding to a child's letter. Dr. Kalam showed us that empathy is a universal language and that a small gesture can have a huge impact. His legacy encourages us to look for opportunities to give in our daily lives to make the world a little better, one small, kind act at a time. It is a call to live with an open and generous heart.